Secrets of Business Women, where we give you all the goss, all the secrets, and lots of tea. Hey, I'm Elle.
And I'm Rosie.
And today we're going to be interviewing Rosie to find out lots of gossip and secrets all about her life.
And next episode, we'll be sitting down with Elle to find out about her life before we sit down with some exciting new guests.
Come and take part. Okay.
Cool.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Hey, Rosie.
Hello.
So I've written a few questions down. I'm probably going to kind of deviate a little bit because
Yeah.
it will depend on your answers.
Yeah.
But are you ready?
Yeah.
You
I have no
ready,
idea
ready?
what's coming.
I love that. Then you can't prepare for it.
No.
I've got here what's your name, but obviously we already know that. So you've introduced yourself, you're Rosie, but more importantly, where do you work? What business do you own?
So I own Studio R, which
Yeah.
is in Hawley, in Surrey, and we are a glam bar and skin clinic.
Okay. So what sort of things do you do at work? So you say you're a glam bar. What sort of services do you offer?
We just do all the girly bits. So we do makeup, skin, lashes, brows, nails, hair up, blow dries, always a pink or blow dry.
Oh, they do look so good.
Yeah, just all like the fun girly bits. Like when you're coming in like to get ready to go out, like we can kind of just tick every box and get you ready.
Fab, so you just feel amazing.
Yeah.
So, when did you start your business?
I started my business smack bang in the middle of COVID.
Of course, that's the best time.
So every single person was like, no, this is not going to work, this is the worst idea. Why on earth are you opening a business in COVID? And I was just in little la la land.
Yeah.
I just kind of like blocked everyone out and I was like, well, I'm going to do it.
Why not?
And I also think, because I didn't know what I was getting myself into, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into.
That's half the thing, not knowing.
Yeah, so when was that? October 2020, so nearly 4 years.
Okay.
Been going.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
So what made you do it? Like, what made you think, do you know what? I'm going to start my own business.
So the salon that I now own, I used to go in there when I was 5. Well, from 5, with my mum, and he used to be a hairdresser for like years and years.
Yeah.
And then I started working in there when I was 14.
Ah, okay.
So I started working in there and I was like full on Saturday girl. Like I would go home with blisters. They worked me like a dog. And I actually remember the first time I ever got a £50 note, and it was the most, I will never forget the feeling. I was so excited. And from that point, I was like, I want to earn money. I just want to earn money and I'm going to earn it for myself. Went off, did 2 crazy different career choices before. And then when COVID hit, I was actually working at Aldi in car sales over in Guildford.
It's not the food shop.
No, everyone always thinks a food shop. One of my clients actually, she was like, I'm so proud of you. She was like, you've gone from Aldi to here, like the tills. And I was like, she'd been my client for years. I was like, no, Aldi is in the cars. And she was like, oh, I always thought you meant the shop. So yes, literally. Not that there's anything wrong with Aldi.
No.
But yeah, it was such a dog-eat-dog world, and it was such a man-dominated industry.
Yeah.
And it was savage, and you were just never taken seriously. And I gave up probably about 3 months after starting there, being in other car dealerships before. And I just thought, this is just not for me. But I didn't know what I wanted to do. All I knew is I wanted to do something for myself.
Yeah.
And that's complete honesty. I've never sat here and said I've wanted to own a salon since I was 2. Because I haven't. And then I was getting made redundant, and I literally went round to my dad's house and had like a meltdown at my dad's, and I was like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And he said, well, this is your time now to do what you want to do. You didn't want to do this, like, let's think now what you actually want to do, and let's see like how we can do it. And I said, well, the salon's up for sale. He was like, right, why does this sound like it's going to cost me money? And yeah, I kind of just thought, I was like, right, sod it, I'll message them. So I wasn't working in that at the time, I'd gone off, as I said, and done other things. So I messaged them and I didn't say it was for me. And I just said, I know someone that's interested wants to buy the salon. Can I like get some more info and I can pass it on to them? It was so, looking back, it was so obvious it was for me.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it was back and forth for a few months, and then I took on the salon. But I bought a salon that was nothing. There was bad reviews. It was a tip in there. It was filthy, and I was like, right, fine, I'm going to turn it around. And all I knew I wanted to do was run my own business and work for myself and not be the boss that I'd had in bosses before. And just make a nice work environment, get everyone to just crack on, make some money and have fun. And then 4 years later, here we are.
Here you are.
So yeah.
What do you think has been your biggest obstacle with starting the business, or like with the business over the last 4 years?
Staff.
Staff.
Yeah. This week's obviously been a crazy week, but I've said that since day one. Staff has always been. We have a really good solid team now, but finding good people that are good at what they do and want it is really hard.
Okay.
And I remember in COVID, when I first started, there was staff in there, and I don't even care, secrets as now, I say, I just spill the tea. They were savage. Like, had they have been in there any longer, they'd have honestly tried to eat me alive. Like, they were brutal. And I remember, again, I called my dad like every day, like, Dad, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? And he said to me, that on my first day, he said, just don't lose your shit with anyone. Okay. Like, just, that's my only piece of advice, just don't lose your shit.
Don't lose your shit.
And then I think it was by the Saturday, so I'd started on the Tuesday, by the Saturday I'd sacked 2 of them.
Okay. Is that scary?
No.
Okay.
Because they were just, they had no respect for me, and they were saying it's good you've taken over because you're easy to manipulate. They were brutal, and I'd said let's try and wear uniform, and they were coming in Hawaiian shirts, they were bringing their dogs in. I was like, guys, like, we're in COVID, we've got to turn this place around. Like, I'm here to make your lives better and easier. I'm going to try and put some money into it. Obviously, we're in COVID, it wasn't really any money around.
Nothing.
But I'm here to make your lives better. And they were savage. They were brutal.
Okay.
So I, since literally week 1, staff was my biggest problem. And then throughout, like, we stabilised probably within about 2 years of having a good solid team. And we've got a very, very good team. And things change all the time, don't they? Like, obviously this week there's been some chaos in the salon and stuff, but you'll get through it. Like, you'll get past it, it's absolutely fine. But I would say, honestly, always staff.
Staff is the hardest.
Yeah. And I remember saying in COVID, I would rather go through COVID again and lockdown again if it meant I could come back and have a solid team.
Fair.
I said it time and time again, and I do it now.
Because if you've got a solid team, then you've got that support, you feel safe in your work.
And you know, when the doors are open, everyone's cracking on.
Yeah.
And that is the main part of the job. I think the money flows, the money is secondary to the actual job, but yeah, I'd say staff.
Okay.
And not in a bitter way.
No, but just, but it's reality, isn't it? So on the flip side of that, what would you say was the best thing about starting up your business?
I would say like the freedom, but I have never been so tied to something in my life.
You know what, I was actually thinking this earlier.
Literally.
I was like, it's all about having that freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never worked so many
never
hours
worked harder in my life.
Harder in my life, no.
But I wouldn't change it. I will never, ever, ever go back to
that was going to be my next question. Would you ever go back to being employed? Would you give it up?
No, never. And I'll be completely honest, my motto when I don't even know how old I was when I opened the salon. I'm 27 now, and it was nearly 4 years ago, so there or thereabouts. And I said 3 by 30 was my plan. And I've always said it, 3 salons by 30. And then earlier this year, we opened up our second, and I closed it within 6 months. I hated it. And I know I will have 3 businesses by 30, but they won't be, I don't know, in this industry.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So do you have, and that's quite a big secret, I feel.
Yeah, that is.
Do you have any idea what it'll be in, or are you just gonna like see what comes to you almost?
Oh my god, we're actually telling secrets already.
I don't even know this.
Well, obviously you know we've just bought a property, so we're doing a reno at the minute, and that is chaos, but it is really rewarding at the minute. I mean, the house is still a shell. I think definitely property.
Yeah.
And I think there's always money in property. No matter what happens to the world, there's always money in property. One, I would like to do glamping pods.
They are really cool.
But not like a teepee, not like, what is it, hut, whatever they are?
Yeah, whatever they're called different things, aren't they?
Not one of them.
Different variations.
I want like a sick cabin with a hot tub and...
So
proper, yeah, underfloor heating, like nice glam, and an actual experience. And then this one, I don't think will bring me much money, but I'd love a little tea room.
I would love in a tea room.
A cute little tea room.
Afternoon tea.
Yeah, some
like
fresh
pretty
flowers out the
gorgeous.
front.
Yeah. Oh my
So that's kind of where my mind's at.
God. Okay.
Businesses.
That's quite exciting because they're very different.
Very
But
different.
they're kind of, but they're not linked. But
I always think I want to utilise the clients that I've got in front of me right now.
yeah,
I've got hundreds of clients in front of me that I can utilise. And not that they're just money robots at all, but
no,
we're
but
all
we
the
are
same.
just trying to find out what they would like.
Yeah, and I know at least 80% of my clients would go to a glamping pod and they would also go to a cute tea room. Probably wouldn't help me a lot with flipping a house, but, well, to be fair, actually a lot of skills have come from a lot of my clients, where
There
they
you
know
go.
someone,
Yeah,
clients and
there
stuff.
you go. You can like use local businesses.
But yeah, I want to do something. I think COVID's taught us all so much, but also has taught us that anything can happen at any time.
Yeah.
So if anything ever happens again, like specifically in our industry, in the beauty aesthetics industry, you've got another field to fall back on.
Definitely, because you just, like for you, I imagine you'd probably have to close completely, wouldn't you, if we had COVID again?
We were shut for, the longest streak was 4.5 months straight.
Okay, that's quite tough.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm fortunate in the fact that a lot of what I do is actually medical based.
Yeah.
So I could keep going.
Yeah.
Guys, I couldn't do your lips, that wouldn't count. But there are things that
Yeah.
I could do to keep going. But yeah, having another business is
Yeah.
actually really, really sensible.
That's what I'd like to do.
I admire you with the property stuff, I've done that.
I mean, we're, what, a month into the first one, so ask me again by episode 2, it'll probably change.
Yeah, episode 5. Yeah, we're not going to do the property bit.
Yeah, that's off.
You can leave Reese to that. Okay, so I've kind of written loads down, but what do you think is your biggest drive? Like, what gives you the most, like, get up and go?
Do you know, this one's actually, I'm going to answer this in a bit of a weird way.
Okay.
So I had a really, really tough time at school. At school, I was never, ever, ever like the cool one, the pretty one, like ever. And I was ripped daily. I was ginger, I was so pale, like I was ripped daily.
Ginger.
This is my natural hair now, my root.
I was going to say.
It's really faded, but the title still sticks.
Okay.
27 years on.
Yeah. Doesn't go.
And maybe it comes from like a place of insecurity. I feel like, deep down, I feel like I still have something to prove. And I think that every day makes me get up, and I think that's why I always have to be, I'm doing the next thing, and it's like, oh my God, Rosie, chill, stop. And I'm like, no, I can't. And then on a flip side, on a more emotional side, is I really, really want to buy my dad a house. I would love to buy my dad a house.
Love that.
So I keep thinking, if I can just keep pushing, by the time I can do that, I think, and I won't, because then something else will come up, but I'd really like to buy my dad a house.
I really love that.
And let him chill. Although he won't chill either, but...
He'll probably just be like, right, how can I help you?
Yeah.
What crazy ass idea
Yeah,
now?
so-
Because
Because he knows I'll get a Renault and he'll have to do all the work.
he'll be like, oh right, here we go.
But yeah, that's probably like two sides of why, like my why, essentially, probably, I guess.
Okay, I think they're really good reasons.
Yeah.
So with the bullying, would you say that has impacted you forever?
Yeah. I constantly now feel like I'm always on the defence, or always have my guard up that I have to like be this different person. And it was probably only honestly about 2 months ago that I really had this like chat with myself, and I thought, you know what, just drop your guard. Like when you chat to someone, you meet someone, just drop it. Like just be you. And oh my God, since doing that, I'm like, oh, it's actually alright. Like it's easier to talk to people. And I talk to people all day, every day, but even in the salon, God, if a client like doesn't chat to me that day, equally I haven't chatted to them because they're with one of the other girls. I think Grace, she hates me. She literally hates me. She thinks I'm such an idiot. Like she thinks I'm not cool. Like when really I'm like, who cares?
No, but that's the thing. I think like naturally as people, like, I don't know about you, but I think we're quite similar in how we are. Like I love all my clients, and I want them to love me, and not in like I want them to love me, worship me. I just want them to like me,
to accept you.
And then, I'm there to help them.
Yeah,
you're there to help them. And I just want to make them happy. And then I'm like, oh my God, what if I didn't make them happy?
Yeah, what if they think, oh, she's so annoying? Shush.
And then it's just like, you come home and it's like, oh God, I hope I didn't say that wrong, or I didn't take that the right way.
And I'll overthink it constantly for weeks, and probably until the next thing, I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And I probably won't bring it up, but I'm like, you okay? And then I can. I'm like, right, fine. They aren't bothered at all. They didn't even take any notice of what I said.
It's just the overthinking part, isn't it?
Yeah.
On that, do you ever switch off? Is there anything you can do where you can like say that you've properly switched off from work?
I'm better at it than Reese, my partner.
Yeah.
Definitely, he cannot switch off. I'm definitely better than him in that if we go on holiday or whatever, I'm like, get off your phone.
Okay.
But I will still be sunbathing or whatever, chilling on holiday on my messages.
Yeah.
But we were talking about this with the holiday, with the wedding, that I just feel mentally better when I've done something. Yeah. And then I can switch off for the rest of the day. Yeah. Cool, I've done an hour of messages, I've done a bit, but I can't remember the last time I switched off and didn't even think about work, didn't check my phone, nothing, or even think, oh my God, I wonder how many messages there are. I couldn't do it. I don't think so.
No, that's the thing, I don't think we ever switched off. Like, I was up at 5:30 in the morning messaging people on my wedding morning.
Your wedding day, literally.
Because I was like, well, if I do it now. I mean, on my wedding day, I did actually leave both my phones in my room. Yeah. I was like, they're not coming out.
Yeah,
I'm not
good.
going to look at them. The only downside to that was if I wanted to take a picture of something, I was like, I've got nothing.
Good job, good job.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Josh. But yeah, I think that's probably the hardest part, like actually switching off. I don't think we ever do. But
then I also think it's a good trait and a bad trait, because I think you need to recharge, not your body, your mind. I think you have to recharge your mind, but then also I think that's what keeps you driven and keeps you going, and not separates you from the rest, where I'm not saying we're the best business owners in the world, I know I'm definitely not, but I think that's what separates you, where you just keep going, and you don't then just fall and settle and just whatever, like have a few clients. That I'd rather look at my phone at the minute. I think it's 75 messages last time I counted. Okay. That is not good. I'm not condoning that's good, but I would rather know I have got those messages there to reply to than think.
Yeah, because you imagine drive out, look at your phone, you're like, there's no messages.
Yeah, no one wants anything.
I think I panic more than seeing 75 messages on my phone. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely times where I feel a bit overwhelmed. Yeah. Like if you've had like a crazy day and you're like, I literally just need to like drink a cup of tea and switch off, but then you look at your phone, you're like, oh my God, I need to reply.
But mentally you can't switch off and chill and watch Corrie or something. Because in the back of your mind you're thinking, oh my God, I need to get back to them.
Yeah, and you don't like relax.
No.
At all.
No. No, I don't think I really do. I sometimes, but not a lot.
Not like you would if you were in not 9 to 5, but you know, a normal job where you leave work and you leave work at work.
Yeah, no,
work is our life.
Yeah.
We are work.
Yeah. And I think it doesn't help because Reese is the exact same.
Yes, that must be really tough because Andy obviously has an employed role. So he leaves work and he generally leaves work. Yeah. But then he comes into my world and my work. Guess him he's working today in the clinic.
Love him. Making our tea.
Making our tea. But yeah, what would you say was your biggest tips? If you've got someone watching that wants to, you know, they want to start a business, what would be your biggest tip?
Honestly, this isn't crazy business advice, but if you have like the fire in your belly, essentially, just do it. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna swear, but fuck what anyone says. Yeah. If you 100%. Genuinely think deep down you can do it, you'll do it. I had bar my dad, bless him, I had every single person, everyone in my life said, you don't do it, what are you doing, you're an idiot. And my dad was the one person that was like, no, I think you can do it. And I think just if you truly believe deep down you can do it, just ignore everyone. Someone's always got something negative to say. Like always, there's always someone that's got an opinion. Even now there's people probably with us doing podcasts and YouTubes and stuff, some will have an opinion, but if you enjoy it and you think you can do it, just go and do it and prove everyone wrong. And that's actually probably another driving factor as well, that I still feel like I've got to prove everyone wrong. And I think there's always a reason not to do something. Always. Like if you don't want to do it, you'll always have a reason, a barrier. Yeah. They'll always be like, oh, do you know what, I'll do that later, or blah, blah, blah. And I think people stress a lot about the money, but I look back and my mindset was so, I'm going to make it work, so I'm not really that stressed. I look back and I think, I was made redundant in August, July. My last pay from Audi was August. I took the salon over in October, and I don't think I paid myself for well into the next year when we were open. So we opened back in April.
Yeah.
I do not know how I lived. I lived on my own. All my bills were paid. I still went for dinner with the girls. I don't know how I did it, but you just make it work.
I think you do, don't you?
So I know this is horrendous business advice, but don't stress about the figures to the death. Like,
no,
get a good understanding. You need to know on paper it's there or thereabouts, but you will make it work.
I think it's something, if you love it, it almost needs to be a hobby. You have to love it.
The money will come second.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly that. Because I did that. I left the NHS. I'd been in the NHS since 2005.
Yeah.
I'd had a set salary.
Yeah.
I was like, how
so that's a big change.
Am I going to do this? I've got a mortgage to pay. Like, we just got the mortgage on this.
Yeah.
We just moved in here. We moved in here in the May, and I left the NHS in the June.
But
and I was like, I'll make it work.
Exactly, and you just do.
You do. And now I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah. But then I also think everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there was a reason that happened at that time in your life, and you were probably the finances would have probably been the same, but you were probably more mentally ready to do it then and to take on that next challenge, even with 500 million other things going on. Mm-hmm. You're probably more mentally ready to be like, right, fine,
let's go.
Yeah, let's do this now. Whereas you probably would have been fine to do it a year before, but you might not have been as like mentally present with that. So
there was a lot of other stuff going on. So yeah.
So everything happens for a reason. And now look.
Now look at it.
Now look.
But yeah. I've kind of asked you everything I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you want to say that you feel you haven't said yet?
No, I don't think so. Like, I'll just recap on what I just said a minute ago. Like, in business, if you want to do it, just go and do it.
Absolutely. Don't wait.
I think it's really hard. My biggest flaw, and I will happily admit this, is managing people.
Yeah.
It is the hardest thing in the world. I remember when I started, I actually texted my manager at Audi, and I said, I'm sorry for being such a pain in the arse. I literally texted him and he sent me back laughing faces. And he was like, I'm glad you finally admitted it. I was like, I am so sorry for being such a pain in the arse. Yeah. Managing people is a whole new skill, and it's so incredibly hard.
On its own, but you need to give yourself credit, because as much as you really struggle with it, you're still doing it. I don't do it. Like, I used to manage in my old job, and I was rubbish. I hated it. I was just like, yeah, you're gonna have a holiday, yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, like, yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
I'm not management material.
I think I really struggle with, and it goes back to then like the school things and the acceptance. I just want to be everyone's friend.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to think they can come to me and we can chat. Yeah. And I'm not your boss. And to be honest, presently at the moment, all the girls in the salon are self-employed, so they are their own boss essentially.
Yeah.
But it gets to such a grey area when it's like, okay, but you're under the umbrella. I'm the owner when it comes to things need replacing, buying, sorting, fixing. But then when it comes to anything else, I'm self-employed. And then in the mix of all of that, and that's no shade on the girls are honestly all spot on, that's just in generic. But
it's a grey area.
And then it comes to, you want to go out and have fun at the weekend, because they are generally some of your closest friends.
Like, you're going to be spending so much time with them. You probably spend more time with them than Reese.
Yeah. And then we're out the weekend, and literally, and there's a Long Island iced tea there, and I'm like, I really should go home and be the adult here, but I'm like, no. I feel like I'm tripping.
That's it. So if there's anyone out there that specialises in management skills, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, or DM replying.
Maybe we need to get someone on who's a really good manager and give us hints and tips.
Yeah, but no, I think that's pretty much covered. Like,
fab.
Hopefully that gives a bit of an idea of.
I think that's brilliant. I found you fascinating. I've loved it, so I'm sure these guys will love it too.
Thank you.
And even like clients that have been clients for years, I bet you they've learned something.
Probably. I'd like to think so, because it's a bit more of like a personal level there. Of like my drive.
You're not going to sit and chat like this with your clients in a way. We get into some deep stuff with clients, patients, but
do you know? I don't know if you do this, but I actually find that not hard in a selfish way, because some of the stuff clients tell me, I think, how are you going through that? How are you managing?
Oh my god, yeah.
But I don't know, are you an empath?
Absolutely.
So do you find you just absorb everything they tell you?
Yeah, and I cry.
It weighs on me so much. Yeah. And it's not in a selfish way where I think, oh my god, that's so sad. I think, how are you dealing with that? Like,
and then I'm like, I'm sort of person, like, what can I do to help you?
Yeah.
Like, would there be anything I could do?
Literally.
But then if I did that for everyone, I'd just be like, I'd just be non-existent.
Yeah. I mean, one of my clients the other day, her card, she won't mind me saying, I won't say no, but her card was hacked or whatever. They took every penny out of her bank account. And we've been on a skin journey with her. And she texted me and she's so excited for her facials, and when it's that time of month she gets so excited, and we've just literally got to the peak of her skin.
Yeah.
And if we fall off track now, it could go back down here again.
You've got to be.
So we just got to the point where we've just tipped over, and she's like, I'm so sorry, like my card's been stolen, I'm gonna have to cancel. Hacked, sorry, I'm gonna have to cancel, like I'm gutted, I'm so upset. I said, don't worry about it. I said, we'll sort it next, come for your facial on Saturday.
Yeah.
She had a kid-free weekend. I said, just come for your facial, we'll sort it next week. So when she was in, I said, oh, like, so what are you gonna do now? And she said, well, put the money, I'm not gonna do anything. But she had her girls with their dad, and she said, I've just got time for myself. I said, literally, I've got cash in the bank, take some cash, not that I've got loads of cash, but take even just 20 quid, go and buy yourself a bottle of wine or something. And she was really touched by it, and she was like, no, I literally can't. And I physically couldn't give it to her. She was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, you know when you're borderline, like insulting someone?
It's like, okay, I don't want to offend, like, you don't want to offend them.
Yeah, and then after I'm thinking, I would happily do it for her and many other clients as well, happily. And I know she was so grateful for that. And I thought, where's the professional line there? I'm literally...
Oh, yeah.
But then you can't, because you've just seen someone who, they're not just clients, they do become friends.
They do, but you genuinely care about them.
Yeah. But I think I'm literally offering to give money, but then I'm here to do a job and take money for it. But then I think your job is so much more than that.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Like the amount of times I will just be like, oh, I'll take that at cost.
Yeah.
Because I know how much it means to them. I'm
like,
I'm not going to make any money out of you. Like, just have it at cost. Yeah. And then it's like, oh God, that's not how you should run a business. But at the same time, I don't care. Like that's how I want to run my business. It's my business. I can do that.
And I also think good karma comes back around as well.
Definitely.
I think you should. I always try and do like one good deed a week where I'll like pay for someone's coffee in a shop or something like that. Or Sheila's is next to the salon cafe, and quite often I'll just say, charge me for an extra coffee and just pass it on to someone in the day you feel needs it.
Love that.
And I think, don't get me wrong, deep down I'm thinking, my good karma needs to hurry up.
Hurry up and come back.
But I do think like if you just put the good out there and just let it be, then at some point it will come back. And you're not doing good things just to get it back. It's not like giving a present to receive. But I just think when you then do something nice, people will then pass that on.
And that's the thing, and it is passing on. Like I do it quite a lot with the kids. We were someone the other day, and this lady had walked. We were at Tesco's car wash, and she was an older lady and not very mobile, and she'd come down. She'd gone to pay for her car wash with her card, and they were like, "We don't accept card. We need cash." And like they were going to send her back up to the cash point. So I just said to Seb, go and give her this money, like I'll pay for her car wash. So we did that, and she was like, no, you can't do that. And I was like, honestly, like it's fine, don't worry about it. So we paid for a car wash, and then when we got in the car, Seb was like, he's my eldest. He was like,
how old is he again?
9. He was like, Mummy, that was so lovely, but why did you do that? And I was like, well, it was going to be really hard for us to go back. Like, we are fortunate enough that we can afford to do that, so we've just done it. Yeah. And then he was like, that's really nice. I want to do things like that.
But that will instill it in him. He's at such an age where that's...
You want to, like, influence them to be nice, because, like you say, you want them to pass it on. So, like, if I can teach my kids to do it and they do it, and they'll hopefully teach other people to do it.
And even if that just means when he's back at school in September, he just does something nice for one of his friends in his class or something, because that trait subconsciously is in his mind and you do nice things for people. Because I also think that there's so many dodgy people that when someone does something nice, you think, why are you doing that?
Yeah, like, why? What's in it for you?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Naturally have like this defensive...
Yeah, like, no, it's alright, don't worry. Yeah, which is sad, but he'll go and pass that on now.
I really hope so. And like you say, like every time you do something nice for someone, and you hope they just kind of pass it on. Yeah. And it is lovely.
And you know what, even if they don't, that's on them. At least you've done it with...
We've done it.
Yeah.
And they're not all going to pass it on, but I think some people will.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm still waiting for someone to buy my coffee though, but...
Yeah, I'll buy your coffee.
And that's my whole point. I'm doing it to receive.
I'll go into Sheila's and be like, right, can you give her a coffee?
The day I paid for someone's coffee, shit hit the fan at work. And I went back in the next day. I said, "Do you know that coffee I bought for someone yesterday? Can I have it back?"
Yeah, that wasn't my luck.
She was like, "No, I don't charge." I was like, "No, I'm only joking." I am only joking. But yeah, just think there's a lot to be grateful for in the world. There's a lot of positives. So
yeah, it's trying to focus on the positives, isn't it? Because I think no matter what, no matter how good life looks or how Instagrammable it looks, I think naturally, especially as business owners, I find like the struggles we face every day are quite real. Yeah. I cry a lot. A lot. Like I'll come home from work and I'll like full on sob. Yeah. And sometimes it's not because like I'm really sad or depressed. I'm just drained and tired and like I don't know how. I just need to like almost go to sleep. That's the only outlet. Just to let that bit of the only thing. And like I think so often people like see all the good bits, like, oh, you're working for yourself. Like for me, I get to be able to be all my kids' stuff. Yeah. But you're pulled in so many different directions as a business owner, and I think it just becomes really full on. But I do think from the outside, and I don't know what you think about this, but I do think from the outside it doesn't look that hard. Yeah, 100%. But then I think anything, if you're good at it, you'll make it look easy. That's very true. Like if you look at like Olympians, like we were watching the swimming yesterday. The swimming, they didn't even look like, oh come on, you go a bit faster than that. I couldn't do that. But like they make it look so easy. Yeah. And it's because they're so good at it. Yeah. Whereas like if we want to go at that, we'd look hilarious. I have to hold my nose. I could do a breaststroke with my hand. Just go around in a circle. Just keep switching your hand over. But I think if you're good at it, you make it look easy. Yeah, that's very true. And I think we definitely don't give ourselves enough credit for what we do. I mean, even now, like this is fine, this is fun, but it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday. This is my one day. Yeah. My children are with their dad till 4 o'clock. Yeah. I could be like chilling. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be in the clinic cleaning. Yeah. Well, I'm at a kids' party. Yeah, literally. And then dinner later. Hosting. Well, straight after this, I'm getting my shorts and t-shirt back on and going back to the house. Oh my god, what are you doing? I don't even know what we're doing today. Just gonna walk in and be like, right, Reese. I had to go there to grab some clothes out of the garage, whatever I could find earlier, and I don't even know what they were doing. They were doing some more prep on the walls. We had the plumber in up high doing something in the ceilings with some pipes. I have no idea what. I looked in the bathroom the other day and I could see through the kitchen. Yep. I thought, right. And then Reese stood in the shower tray like, wow, this is so big. This is so nice. I said, I don't think you should be stood on that. We had a estate agent round the other day, friends of Reese who was just having a look and estimating values and stuff with what we're planning. They took their marketing team round to take pictures so they could be like, wow, what transformation. She fell through the floorboard. This poor girl. I'm so glad I wasn't there because I'd have been mortified for her. She fell through. She didn't come through the ceiling. She fell through the floorboard. Yeah. I thought, right, okay. Yep. And that's just how today's going to go. It's the risk you run. Yeah. And really we should have some tape saying don't stand there, don't stand there. I think then naturally, like when it's yours, you just sort of learn. Like I've been at that point before where like floorboards are up or, you know, I remember for the first house renovation we did, I remember walking down the stairs one day with our very yellow walls because everything was off the walls and obviously they painted yellow underneath. Ours are half yellow. It's like half yellow. And then the top half's not. Yeah, it's so bizarre. Weird, isn't it? They've got the perfect level going around and then panelling up the stairs. It was obviously the fashion at some point. Yeah, but it's like yellow. Yeah. And I remember like coming down these stairs because they were like they go round and there was just water pouring down. I was like, sure. Oh dear. I was like, Sam, because it was my ex-husband at the time. Right. I was like, there's water like piling through our ceiling. He was like, oh, bollocks, I've gone through a pipe. And he was a plumber. Oh. Well, Reese the other day, so I went to Liverpool for a work trip. And when I left, I had a kitchen. An old kitchen, but I had a kitchen. I was gone for one night. I came home and bless him, my dad let me take his car. Because his car's much nicer to drive than mine. Okay. So he's whipping around in my Fiat 500 and I'm off in his nice fancy car. So I've come back and I think I dropped his car off to him about 8:30 at night. I got back quite quick. And he said, oh, have you had dinner? I said, no, I'm not really that hungry to be honest. He said, I suggest you get some dinner before you go home. So he knew. He was trying to prepare you. He walked in and the whole kitchen had been ripped out. The sink
was balancing on the 2 water pipes.
Yes.
And my dad said to Reese, have you turned the water off? Is the water off? Because that is balancing so much that it's bending forward, it's about to snap.
Yeah.
He said, no. Like, where do we do that? I didn't know I had to do that. Didn't understand. Bless it, I wouldn't have known, to be honest. If that snaps off, that's like a jet wash.
Yeah, it's like intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I walked in and there is just a sink balancing on 2 pipes and rubble everywhere. I thought, right, I'm going to go to bed and this is going to be tomorrow's problem.
I'll see you in the morning.
Now we have no sink in either the bathroom or the kitchen. We've got nothing, and we've got a long hose going from the water mains in the house out through the dining room, out to the garden.
Love it.
And that's our water
That's all you
supply.
need, right? That's all you need.
That you have to turn on and off with a screwdriver.
God, I don't miss that. I remember, like in our first house, when the one that also flooded, we just had one set of sockets on the stairs for the whole house. So you had to run like extensions.
I would rather that. Ours is one in the
there.
garage at the minute.
Oh, that would be annoying.
That I have to balance the kettle on a suitcase to make work.
Oh, okay.
So I'd actually rather one in the hallway.
Yeah, that would be quite useful. See, positive.
Yeah,
positive.
see, there's a positive.
We have one in the hallway, not the garage. We didn't actually have a garage. It was just an asbestos garage.
Yeah, I think ours might be somewhere. That's just not a today
That's just not a
problem.
today problem. You'll deal with that another time.
There was a panel that we were told you do not touch this bit, and we thought, right, we're going to leave that bit free.
Did you get structural survey?
Yes.
Okay. They should have found it.
They did.
Okay, fine.
Well, they did in places that would be in most houses of that age.
Yeah.
That if you just don't touch it, you're fine.
You're fine.
So we don't need to touch it.
Fine.
But where they're like all of a sudden now putting pipes from the bathroom out, like circulation, all of that, we're like, no, you can't touch that bit. So it's fine when it's left.
Yeah,
but I don't know what asbestos looks like. I haven't got a clue. So I was sanding the walls the other day and it was all dusty, and I called my dad. I was like, is this asbestos? He was like, no, it's dust.
Yeah, it's just dust.
I'm just like, I don't know what is good and what's not, but he said it's the stuff we won't be touching, it's the stuff that we shouldn't be touching. So
well, that's fine then.
Be fine.
That'll be fine.
I'm just painting my wardrobe doors and just doing silly little jobs like that, putting some brass handles on and just doing the cute stuff like that.
I've got some great wardrobes. I've not got a sink or a bathroom or a kitchen, but I've got some.
My
great
wardrobes are
wardrobe
stunning.
Oh,
but yeah.
Well, it's been lovely getting to know you.
Good. This was a nice chat.
It was a nice
Yeah,
chat.
I like that.
Because we literally, I don't think we realise, we're also kind of getting to know each other as well. Because we sort of know each other, but we don't know each other.
On a level, like,
yeah.
It's nice.
So it's lovely. I've had
Your
fun.
turn next.
Yeah. Oh,
Cool.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed it, guys.
Hope you've enjoyed. A couple of secrets in there.
And yeah, you'll have to, what's the word?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, that's what I was looking for the second episode.
And I'm going to be interviewing Elle, and we'll get to know some of Elle's bigger secrets as well.
Oh, I might hide from that. See you later.
See you later.